Okay, share screen. Maybe. Come on. Why is it paused? Can I not? I was doing it last night. What's going on? What do you guys see? Do you just see me? What do you
I can
see?
see it. I can see it.
You can see the PowerPoint or me?
I see the
Both,
screen.
actually.
Both. Both, actually.
I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Can hear you.
Okay. I have my ear thing in.
Okay,
I don't know
there
how
we
that
go.
works.
I can see my screen now. Okay.
I see you in a little box with the whole PowerPoint as the main screen.
Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna get going. Okay, hold on. I gotta do something else too because I'm being silly. This is my awesome setup. Okay. Welcome everyone. Hi, my name's Angie. I'm going to present to you today. I feel like I'm just being silly. I can't see you guys' faces, so or comments, so unmute if you have anything, just because there's such a small amount for tonight. But anyway, my goal for you guys is to reignite your spark because let's face it, we all have trouble, right? So my goal by the end of this little brief webinar is that you guys have a little sense of like excitement for reigniting your spark within your business. Okay. So at any time, just speak out if you can't because I literally can't see you guys. So unless yeah, I really can't. But anyway, so let's start. Obviously, you guys know who I am. I'm a mom of three boys, and this is the reason why I'm doing this. Literally want you guys to understand that today, like I want you to have clarity, confidence, and the sense of our community because let's face it, we have such an amazing community, and I'm so glad that we are able to meet and like I'm so internally grateful for the friendships that we have made within this community. So thank you guys for that. Right now, I'm gonna have you can put it in the chat. I want you guys to write one word about how you're feeling in this exact moment, which is probably for me, like I know, right? So I'm nervous, obviously. And that's what makes me push myself harder because I want to do the best that I can do for you guys, right? Tired. You're funny. Yes, tired's a very good one, right? It's one of those things that you're at that point in your life where you're like, I'm doing all these things. It's crazy. It's summer vacation. It's all these things. It gets very overwhelming and it's almost very easy to just give up a little bit, like, right? I can only just put in an hour today. Oh, I could just do a little bit less today because I'm tired, right? But one of the biggest things that you need to realize is that if you do that a little bit today, the next day you might do a little bit more. And then you find yourself so overwhelmed because you feel like I haven't been doing anything and but like I expect the same results, right? Um Also, I want you guys to put one dream or milestone that you're chasing, right? So like for me, I want to give my kids the life that they deserve by being able to be fully present for them because I never had that as a kid. My parents were never fully present for us. We literally always were with other family. So I wanted to be able to give my kids that sense of home, right? Because honestly, when I think of home for my childhood, I think of my aunt's house because we spent so much time there and we always felt so loved and so welcomed, right? So that is my sense of home, which is terrible to think in the sense, but I love my mom and dad so much, and they did as much as they could for us, but they were never fully present. And that, in my mind, if I can be fully present for my kids, then it's just going to do 1%, maybe hopefully 90% better than what I had when I was a kid. Okay. So go ahead and put that in the chats. Like I said, let me check real quick. See if I can remember how to do this. Let me check the chats, but you see what you guys wrote. Oh, hello. We got more people. You want security to know all the bills are taken care of. I like that. I really like that. You want to give your kids the unconditional time. I love that because like I think we all kind of come from that same situation where we just want to have more, right? We want to give our kids so much more. I don't know. I have to stop bouncing back and forth because I can't find Canva. Okay. All right. So the next thing is why is your work powerful? right? So why does digital marketing create connection, income, and freedom, right? So the fact that like you knowing that you can create that connection for other people that are in the same exact situation as you, like that's going to give them income and that's going to give them freedom, which freedom in my mind is literally what my purpose is, right? The ability to be present for my kids. That's my purpose. That's my freedom, right? The financial freedom to me doesn't make sense to me because in my life, we've always struggled, right? So the fact that, like, in my mind, my freedom is to give my kids that peace of mind, to give them that better start than what I had, right? To not have to struggle from the get-go. But they also need to appreciate and learn that that's what, like hard work, right? Whatever business you do, whatever job you do, you need to put hard work into it, right? And the fact that digital marketing does that for everyone all over the world, and we get to reconnect, we get to connect with people from all over the world with digital marketing. It's life changing. At least it is for me. Um, my goal for you is that I want you to understand that I want you to reframe your imposter syndrome. So, imposter, instead of telling yourself you can't, tell yourself you will, right? I am the biggest culprit when it comes to I can't, right? Like in my head, I'm like, this is just so much. I can't do this anymore. I say that on a very regular basis. And now I've found that when I say I can't do this anymore, I have to stop. I might say it out loud, but then I'm like, you will do this, right? So if you can reframe the way you talk to yourself, like believe it or not, I've spent thousands of dollars on therapy. And one of the biggest takeaways for me from therapy was, would you ever talk to an 8-year-old version of yourself like the way you talk to your adult self? You should never talk to yourself as mean as we do, right? I know I'm a culprit. I talk down to myself all the time. And that's why learning the steps through this program and from everything else, just the overall mindset shifts that I've been having, I'm like, this is powerful. If I can truly teach people to switch that mindset and save them thousands of dollars on therapy, right? We all need it though, so don't ever knock it, right? But like to be able to just think that self, like because I've gone to many therapists and that like my very last one is the one who said that to me. So had I had that, years and years and years ago, would that have changed some outcomes? I don't know. But knowing it now, it's changing outcomes for me. Okay? So if you can change that I can't to you will, it's going to change a lot of things in your head. Okay. I promise you that. You don't have to be perfect to make an impact. Like, listen, guys, come on. We already know this, right? We've learned these tools. We've learned that you don't have to be perfect. 95% of the people out in the world are not perfect. And that's what I love about this is because I can be myself for once. I don't know about you guys, but I've always felt like I had to be perfect out in the community because we live in a very closed-minded small town. Even where I grew up, my hometown was very small, very closed-minded. Everyone knew everyone, and that was the hardest part was you always felt like you were just at that point where no matter what you did, your parents knew before you, or before you got to tell them, or they already had a judgment about you, right? My brother and sister were bad in school, and I'm the baby. So guess what? Angie had to prove herself really hard her whole life because my brother really put my teachers through the ringer, and then my sister came along and she wasn't as bad, but she definitely liked to try to get in trouble. And then I came along and I was that straight A. I was, as my sister would call me, a goody two shoes, but I really am not. I just wanted to strive better because I always felt like I already had this standard over top of my head, right? Plus, with my dad being a public figure, you need to behave so that, his figure isn't ruined in your hometown, right? So even when I left, I come to this place, I come to my hometown now, and like my husband, he did not have a good upbringing. He was in trouble a lot. So when people see me, I feel like sometimes it's like, well, judgment, right? Because they know him, he's grown up here his whole life. And that's not fair because he is a completely different person than when he was a teenager. However, people think that, and then they're just, like, you just feel like you have to always do better and be the best of the best and be able to show off. Like, you don't want to do that. We shouldn't have to do that. Okay. And so, with mindset shifting and being able to say, like, I know that I can't be perfect. I don't want to be perfect, but I do want to be better. So if you can tell yourself that, you guys, like I'm telling you, these mindset shifts that I've been having have changed my life. And I want you to understand that if you just plug in just a little bit more, even on those bad days when you're really just not feeling it, if you plugged in just a little bit every day, right? 1% every day, 100 days, you're going to be 100%. And I don't like to even think of that. Like it should be like a point 0.01% every single day because I don't think we'll ever get at 100%, but I'm going to try my hardest, right? And I want you guys to try your hardest too. Um, and then obviously, like I love to share Jen's story. If you guys don't know her, Jen Stillion, obviously you two do. But Jen Stillion, she is a celebrity mindset coach. I mean, this woman has gone from the bare bottom of the barrel, and she is now traveling the world teaching celebrities all over the world their mindset, shifting mindsets all over, right? And she's part of our community, the digital growth community. She's our mindset coach. And the fact that she has gone through everything that she has gone to lead up to where she's at now today, my goodness, it just inspires me. Like, my gosh, like I didn't have it as rough as she did. And she's here doing these huge speeches. She's a keynote speaker. She's all these famous things all because she just tried to do a little bit better every day. She used to drink and take Xanax to get on an airplane. And she'll tell you that story. Like she used to literally drink with taking Xanax, which is totally not right, right? Not I mean, anyone can think that, but even in healthcare, like that's a no-no, right? But that's the only way that she could get herself through her days. Even when she was a celebrity doing the things with her husband and traveling on airplanes and stuff. Like you guys, just because you're in a bad place now does not mean you need to stay there. You can totally move on from there, but you have to start up here, right? You guys with me still? Um, anyway, so let me change. I guess I need to change the screen. Real talk, right? Challenges we all face. Like we all have this fact where we're burnout of content. Like what do we need to talk about, right? We think of real life things, but then at the same time, we don't want to change our subject too much because we don't want to miss out on our perfect customer. But at the same time, we have to tell our story. My story is messy. I know y'all's story is messy too, but you have to think about it. If you truly want to face your challenges, you have to figure out how to get past the fatigue, how to get past that drought, how to get past your self-doubt, right? And it's all normal, right? You're allowed to have a bad day. Our uncertainty at success, right? Some of us doubt ourselves every single day. Some of us only doubt ourselves when things start to go down a little bit. But that doesn't mean that you're not doing what you need to do. That doesn't mean that you can't continue to grow. Just because something's not succeeding for you right this minute doesn't mean tomorrow it's not, right? Who knows? There's days where I have no leads. There's days where I get 10 leads. Like it just runs out. And yeah, I don't have tons and tons of leads, but I have made thousands of dollars on the online space. And that is what is changing my family's life. That's what's giving me the ability. I don't need to have hundreds of people coming in. I just need those certain ones that I know that I can help change their lives. And that's exactly what you guys need to think about because I know there's days where it's droughts. Like, let's face it, social media is changing every single day. We're all struggling here and there some way. And we just need to realize that today is not tomorrow, right? I don't know if that's a good analogy or not, but today is not tomorrow. We can always make tomorrow better, okay? Obviously, tech can always feel overwhelming. We all have struggled with that. But I do want you to think about just in your head right now, what's felt heavy or unclear lately, right? For me, it's been the uncertainty of success, right? The overall doubt with myself. I go through these stages all the time, right? I always doubt myself. I am my biggest worst critic. I don't know. I have cheerleaders all around me, but in this head, you'll never fix that self-doubt until I can turn it off. And doing that, I am starting to do the you will, you will. Because that self-doubt, I want to squash it down. I don't want to hear from it anymore, right? Because when I look into my little boy's eyes, I know that I can't let my fear, my doubt, my uncertainty not help change their life. They deserve that, right? So when I can look at them and have that constant reminder, it's almost like my little slap, keep going. Keep doing what you need to do to be successful. Whether that's just showing up one day doing your 3 pieces of content and not doing anything else, maybe it's Maybe it's just getting out of bed. I don't know about you guys, but I've definitely had days where I just have not wanted to get out of bed. But as a mom, can you really stay in bed all day? No. So then you get up, you're grumpy, you're mean, you're like, "Ugh, just put the TV on, ignore, like I just want to lay, I want to close my eyes." Like I don't know about you guys. I'm not like I am ashamed to say that, but I'm honest. Like I want to be honest with you. Like I've done that, right? We've all had those days. So being able to get out of that funk and move on from it is what you need to continue on that track to be successful, not only in your business, but in your life, right? We want to keep pushing on. We want to keep going further and better, right? And that's okay if you're still in the messy middle. I think 95% of moms are always going to be somewhat in the messy middle, right? We might have one foot in the clean future, but and maybe I don't know, some hair
Angie,
or some I don't know, dirty laundry in the far back side, but like listen, if we can just get ourselves halfway or even just a quarter of the way to the clean future, we will continue to succeed. Does that make sense?
Angie,
Yeah.
do you have anybody in the waiting room? Kelly says she can't get in.
How do I do the waiting room?
Don't know.
Okay, hold on. Participants.
She just says she's trying to get in and it won't let her. Sorry,
Oh, that's okay.
interrupting.
I don't know how to do the waiting room. I didn't. Hold on. Breakout rooms, whiteboard, meeting info.
Oh, she's on.
Oh, okay. Hi, Kelly. Okay. All right, can you still see my screen? Can you see the PowerPoint?
I can see it.
Okay, good. Thank you. Um, So I want you guys to understand that you're not doing it wrong. This is a process, right? Working on yourself one day at a time, even an hour at a time, is better than nothing, right? Even a minute. Take 1 minute, look yourself in the mirror and say, I got this. When you're washing your hands after going to the bathroom, I got this, right? Something that's going to push you to keep going. This transformation is not going to happen overnight. And quite frankly, you don't want it to happen overnight because I can guarantee you when you get that end result, you're not going to appreciate it as much if you didn't struggle. I don't know about you guys, and I get it. Struggling is struggling, but like if it came easy to you, would you truly appreciate it as much as you do when you struggle? Like I think back to my sports days, softball and volleyball days where I could not get that. I worked so hard and I just wasn't getting that one move down and for whatever reason, but my gosh, I tried so hard and then I got it and then it's like, "Oh my gosh, I got it," right? I think of like cuz I'm not bragging, but I was a very good softball player. I was shortstop my whole high school career for the varsity team. We went to states my senior year. Like I was prime. My prime in my high school years with softball. I loved it. I've done it since I was, a kid in T-ball. And so I think of going from sitting in the outfield in T-ball picking flowers and moving my way up. Eventually I went to outfield and then I worked my way to first base and then I second base, and then shortstop. Shortstop's like the money spot when it comes to softball, baseball, whatever. Like a lot of line drives, you get a lot of stuff there. And like so I look back to those days and I'm like, man, did I appreciate the hard work, especially the shape that I was in, but the hard work that took me to get there. Right. And that's the same thing with this business. Like, it doesn't matter how many down days I have because I know when my end result comes, because it's going to come, just like all of you, your end result, that dream that you've been holding on for so long is going to come. But it's not going to show up if you give up. Right. You cannot give up. Even on the days you don't feel like doing something, do something. Change that I can't to you will. Okay? I keep forgetting to change the slides. This is your business. It's your rules, right? That's the most beautiful thing about this whole thing is that this is your business. I'm not going to I'm not going to stop you from doing what you need to do with your business, right? And you're not going to stop me from doing what I need to do with my business. This is the beautiful thing about this program is that your business is yours. But even better, we're never alone, right? So, what does this I can't talk. What does success look like for you? That's what I want you guys to put that down. So this is your, what does your success look like to you? If you want to put it in the chats, great. If you want to write it down, whatever you want to do, I want you to think about this out loud. Success to me looks like never having to stress when it comes to something breaking, or my dang husband hitting a deer, guys, 3 in 6 months. Well, no, 3 in a year from the time that we've bought his truck. We bought his truck last June, and today was his third. Okay. Um, and not having to budget for every single penny, right? Not having to think about, I want to take my kids and go do something, but oh my gosh, my bank account is struggling. Or, oh, well, I got about 5,000 on that credit card. I only have about $2,000 wiggle room, or I'm going to have to up my limit, right? I know we've all been there. I don't want to do that. Those are the things that success looks like to me, right? Is being able to just have that stress of the finances gone so that I can be fully present with my kids, so I can focus on them and their needs. They need new shoes for school, guys. My oldest went through four pairs of shoes this year. He just has grown so much. That's expensive. And we don't do name brands here. I'm sure at some point he's going to get older and the kids are going to be like, oh, you need name brand stuff. But right now we don't do name brand. I do clearance, right? And so the fact that like not having to worry about just going and get them a new pair of shoes, or God forbid you try to super glue them just to get you by till the weekend, right? Like I don't want to have to think about that stuff, right? What kind of freedom did you start this for, right? I want you to think in your head, when I think of the reason I started this business, what did I do that for? What was that life and freedom for me? That reason that you invested, what was that for you? Was it the silver lining, being able to take your kids wherever you want, whenever you want? Was it being able to get groceries from the grocery store without having to think about it? Was it, I don't want to work. I don't want to give my kids to strangers every single day and miss out on missing them, missing milestones, right? Missing first steps, missing first words. My boys, right? For me, it was my boys, my husband. For me, freedom, the reason I started this was first and foremost my 3 boys. Then my husband, because I know in my mind that if I wasn't successful at this, he would have to go get a second job and he would be missing out on my kids. And that was something I never wanted him to have to do because his dad worked 3 jobs his childhood. He didn't know him till he was an adult. I didn't want to have to do that for him. I promised him that I would never make him miss out on his kids just because I wanted to stay home, right? And this is another one. I want you guys to reflect. If I trusted myself, I would what? You want to know what mine is? If I trusted myself, I would quit my job altogether. My 9 to 5, which is not a 9 to 5. It's usually a 7A to 6P, but my physical therapy job altogether. If I fully trusted myself. What's yours? Put yours in the comments. I'm going to go back to the chats real quick because I see there's a lot. I want to read them. Aw, Kelly, I hope you're feeling better. Success to me is not having to worry about paying the bills every month. I love that, Alicia. Not having to go back to a job that took me away from them. I love that, Kelly. Stop seeing my husband stress working so much. I felt like crap not having real money. Right? Same with me, Alicia. I would quit my job too. It's something about having that that stability. I've never not been unemployed. Never not been unemployed. Right? I've always been employed. So that in my mind and as a back burner, I'm like, this is saving me. This is saving me. I know tomorrow if I needed to, I could go get hours and work. Do I want to? No. I don't have childcare, first of all, which is the biggest thing of me not going back to work more. If I still had means for childcare, I probably would be like, well, honey, things are a little tight right now, something, whatever. I'm in the process of switching over my social media and, I'm kind of in this lull right now, whatever. I'll just go pick up more hours. If I had childcare at my beck and call, I would be working more hours. I only know that because that's what we always revert back to what society tells us what we have to do, right? What my family tells me what I have to do, right? Go back to work. You wouldn't be struggling so bad, right? Not that we're struggling, right? But if it got to that point where we were struggling super bad, I know that I would go back to that. That is my biggest, if I trust myself, right? Okay. Small wins, big momentum, right? That's what our goal is for tonight. Um, Progress, moving towards progression, right? You're never going to be perfect. I don't want to be perfect. I don't know about you. I want to be close, but I know I'll never be perfect, and that's okay. But me pushing myself to progress to perfection, absolutely. And I want that for you guys. I want you to think to yourself, as long as I'm progressing, I will work towards being perfect, right? 1% every day. I always go back to that 1% every day in 100 days. Because let's face it, that's a little over 3 months. You're already at 100% more. So then strive again, start over, right? Start pushing yourself even more. Go further, go further, further. Because I can guarantee it, no matter what, the minute that we feel like we mastered something, we're struggling in something else. So then we need to start working on that, right? So I want you to remember that every small shift matters, right? Small shifts create big momentum. I have a challenge for you. Um, this says let's celebrate what's working for you guys. Put one thing about your business process right now. Just one word, one or two words. Put what's working for you right now. Is it vlog or b-rolls, or is it silly videos? Is it educational videos? Is it a different platform? Is it, put just a very minimal thing in the chat of what is working for you right now. Because for me, right now, what's working is my motivation to help other people. That's what's working right now. Because if I show up to motivate other people, I show up for my business, because that's how I meet other people, right? I think of me a year ago at this exact moment. I was full pregnant, right? I was fully pregnant. I was almost 39. I was probably what? I'm trying to think. Conrad turns a year in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Okay. So I was 38 weeks pregnant. No, 37. I was 37 weeks pregnant right now. Hot. I remember last May. It was miserable. I was big old belly, right? And in my head, I was still working full time. I worked full time up to the day before I had him. Okay, at 39 weeks. Um, I worked full time. So I was swollen, I was blue, like my ankles were ballooned, like I was miserable. I look back to that and I'm like, I was so scared to leave work, which I had already been replaced by full time. I told my boss I was leaving. And yeah, I did that because I knew that I would come back full time, because, but like I didn't realize he was going to replace my job before I even left. I trained the person that replaced me, my full-time position. So I was replaced before I even went on maternity leave. So I had no option. I had no option to go back full time. That's kind of a kicker, especially when you're like, I give all my all to this business and I literally was replaced before I even took off. We got to stop that. We got to stop letting other people control our lives, right? I do want to challenge you guys right now with one thing, okay? I have 10 minutes left. I am almost done with this, and I'm gonna open up for a Q&A if anyone has any. And then so this is the one thing that I want. I'm a math person, y'all know that. Oh, what did I do? Nope. Sorry. Can you see my screen still? Um, One thing right now is, if you took, there's 24 hours in a day, right? So if you, for 100 days straight, said one nice thing about yourself for those 24 hours a day, that's 2,400 compliments that you give yourself in 100 days. I know that sounds silly, and obviously we're not awake for 24 hours a day. However, if you think about that, even if you were to minimize that, if you just did one nice compliment, say one nice thing about yourself, whether I like your eyes, hey, your hair looks really good today. I'm really proud of you for getting out of bed this morning. I'm really proud of you for smiling. I'm really proud of you for showing up for your family. Even though I knew you didn't want to do it, I'm really proud of you. I want you this is my challenge for you guys, okay? And if you do it, great. If not, I know I've been trying it, and it's really amazing how much your confidence boosts when you tell yourself nice things, right? So, what I want you to do for this weekly reset, right? You have the tools, you have the talent. I want you to give yourself this one goal this week, okay? I challenge you for every awake hour that you are, even if you get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night or like me, up with the baby through the night. I want you to say out loud once an hour something nice about yourself. Okay? Doesn't matter what it is. Like I just said, I gave you a bunch of examples. I want you to just say that one nice thing out loud. If someone's around, great, make yourself look silly. If not, that's okay too. I want you to give yourself one compliment every hour that you're awake for the next week. And then send me a message. Send me a message and tell me, or comment on this or whatever. Send me a message and tell me how you felt after that week. Deal? Deal, deal, deal. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing. 3 day, where are we at? It's a safety net, even though not currently walking. I totally agree with you. Same with banking. I hope I never need that for an extra income. I totally agree with that. 3 kids in daycare during the summer, Kelly. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what it would be because I know the baby is like, he obviously costs more. But yeah, like it's crazy. Lives for the most part. I totally understand that too. Um, Let me stop recording